Inspired Intentions listeners, welcome back again. Today we have another unique episode with a very unique guest, somebody that I've known for a few years now, a actual Skyterra guest who has some really cool stuff to say and honestly has a really awesome job. Todd, welcome.
Thank you for having me. This is exciting. The Harlem Wizards are my professional life and a big part of my life. My dad started the team when I was a kid in 1962, and I had no idea I would do this for my life. And then I had an awakening when I was in college and ended up doing the Harlem Wizards and running it. And I was going in another direction, and I woke up that this was the thing to do and stopped being rivalrous with my father.
As we do.
And realized that this is what I loved when I was a kid. I loved going to Wizard games and just hanging out and with the players and messing with them. And it was fun. And I never got tired of it. And I realized with the Wizards, I could do two goals that I had, which was to make a difference and, in the world, and also build it as a business.
And we're going to talk all about it. It's such a cool, unique thing that you do, that you can touch so many people. I think that's really unique. And honestly, when did we meet? The first time you came to Skyterra was
2023, I believe. It was right before New Year's.
Yeah,
it was the reindeer run.
Yep. And I remember
it rained.
And I remember us going on a walk together, kind of like a easy Monday hike, and you didn't mention anything about what you did or anything, and we just kind of chit-chatted about the outdoors and the walk and all that. And you kind of I remember you kind of divulging that you're just wanting to work on yourself, wanting to work on your wellness this year is kind of a thing that you're wanting to focus on.
Yes. And I've told you we do another program which is interesting. It's a WizFit program for kids. And the truth is that kind of was an obligation to me. And also more powerful. If I'm not in that for self, how can I have a voice for the kids?
Yeah.
So that I don't have kids myself, but I have this big picture of the bigger group of kids all over the United States and all over the world. And that gives me inspiration to know all of us can have a better life by taking care of ourselves with all the different things, exercise and eating, and no matter what situation somebody's in, what they can do, what they can't do, whatever you can do that you're not doing.
And I love that you brought up WizFit, because I was going to ask you about that. We've spent a bunch of time together, but I don't know much about that program, and we'll dive into that. But I want to start with, for the listeners that have no idea what the Wizards are, could you talk a little bit about that for a second? Because it's super cool.
So 1962, my dad kind of did an entrepreneurial things on the side. He couldn't do it full time because he couldn't make enough money. So he had to sell insurance, which he hated. So on the side, his Goose Tatum had been the #1 Globetrotter in history, showman for that team. And Goose had his own team, the New York Stars, and he asked my father to book him a week in New York, and it was great success, and it just grew. I mean, he just knew people from the football days that he did and all the other sports he did. He also did a clown baseball, and this is going to become a Howie Davis show.
All over the place.
He did a clown team that played basketball and baseball in clown suits. It was named after the Indianapolis Clowns, and it was the Kokomo Clowns. But I don't think the Indianapolis Clowns played basketball also. So what was I saying?
This is the environment you grew up in.
Yes. And he knew a lot of athletic directors and all that. And so the idea came, let's make it fundraisers for schools. That's where he had the idea. And maybe he had seen it before. There was another team, the Magicians, Marcus Haynes, who also played for the Wizards and was his partner for a while later on. That's a whole other story. We should just do a whole podcast on that. But, it grew in the New York area. And then his one passion of it was, the undying passion was, you are going to give people an experience that they'll never forget. You'll give them something. And the money had to be second. You have to make money to do what you're doing.
For
Otherwise,
sure.
you can't survive. But that wasn't his focus. And I don't know how he survived the business. He had no idea what he was doing as far as the business side of it. But as far as that commitment, and I think that's why the Wizards is still here. And that's why I wanted to be involved, because the passion was true. The passion to give people something, and this intangible experience when you're in the room, when every player, every bun in that gym can feel it.
And so you tour all around the country and the world now doing this?
Yes. We've probably in a typical year, we do 35 states. We've been to about 25 countries. That's more intermediate, but we played, man, I've been to China probably with the Wizards 15, 20 times.
Mm-hmm.
Been great places. You know, I've seen more places than vacation going with the Wizards, but we've gone to great places like Italy and Israel. Actually,
Wow.
that was the first time I went internationally. Was I played on the opposing team in Tel Aviv in front of 10,000 people.
Oh, wow.
And I was more nervous than I could ever imagine with 10,000 people. I didn't even play high school level. I played at the Y. I was a star at the Y. And I made the first shot out of the corner, a three-point shot. Wasn't three-pointers back then.
Uh-huh.
And I was on the news all over Israel.
That's amazing.
Yep.
That's amazing. And that was your first trip out of the country that way.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
cool.
Yeah.
And so that has grown for you over the years.
Yeah.
You've invested your whole professional career in this.
Yes. Yes. And I couldn't I think the experience of being around it when it's in your blood and you feel it, the passion and
Mhm.
the love for the players and the love for the excellence and the experience of this intangible thing that is just a creation, put me in the right position to be there. And I got to learn a lot. I was fired 5 times by my father.
5?
5 times for having a big head, pig head, whatever you
Uh-huh.
want to call it. I did a lot of volunteer work with in my 20s, especially for transformative classes and workshops. And that really, I didn't know what I was doing, but I was learning how to be a leader, how to be a manager, how to do logistics. Like, I had to manage a room with 300 people. I had no idea. Not a detail person at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to do it. And it really served that what I would think would take an hour took 12 hours. And I had to learn, oh my God, you really have to think about these things. So there you go.
And so fast forwarding, you've been doing this for years, right?
Yes.
And you've been all over the place, all over the world, and you've invested so much into this. And then you realized you needed to take care of yourself a little bit.
Yes. And that has kind of been a process. First of all, the thing that got me into health in the first place is my father, who started the Wizards. He died pretty young at 73 of a heart attack, and my mother died of 60 as cancer for smoking. So I think I was always curious. There's got to be another way. Thinking in my head, I don't know where it came from, where maybe it was doing all these seminars or whatever, but I started to think about it and saying, I want to learn other things. And it's not easy because there's so much bad information out there, and we're not great. I don't think we're great in the United States as balanced living and eating good food. And, we have so much money, but it's in the wrong place. So, but I got to just kept doing different things, went to different places. There was another place I went to that was like raw diet where you really, which I really love that program too. But for Skyterra, when I look at it, I go, this is the way I would like to live. That's the experience I have from being here. First of all, the community is another factor. First of all, the way the staff is, and it's like being at camp. That's the way I describe it. Like you have the opportunity to meet 20, 30 people, and it's possible, which is crazy. I don't know if it's possible every week, depends on the group, but where you just care about everybody, you like everybody, you're glad to see them. It's in the blue zone, they talk about the community as one of those factors of longevity, and that is definitely it's tough. We live isolated. I do a lot of isolation because I'm working from home, and here you can, if I only have certain time because I still had to work, I could do a little bit. I can meet with people, see people for an hour or 2 hours, but just that there's a lot of nurture in the relationships.
The community aspect's big for you here.
Yes. Yes. And I would say, and the first time I came here, I still remember because I'd been to some of the diet places for losing weight. And it's usually like, they give you a couple of peas maybe on the table and that's it. And the amount of food on the plate, how am I going to lose weight? I was scared because I really was. That was what motivated me the first time I came here, and it was great. It was because it was really a life lesson that this is the way you can live. You can eat with nutrients, and it can taste good, and I think nutrition is catching up to that point of view. I was just reading, there's a book called Good Calories, Bad Calories, and all the studies that were done where they tried to starve people, give them low calorie diets. They ended up gaining weight when they got off it, because whatever happens in your mind and in your body, it doesn't work. So I think more is being learned, and whatever knowledge that Skyterra's put in seems to be ahead of where a lot of America is.
We have a lot of really well-versed, intelligent professionals here that lead us in that department for sure.
Yeah, and the other thing is I've done everything. I've been vegan. I've been vegetarian. I don't eat this. I don't read red. I don't do that. And after all the reading and all the experience and coming through, the certain parts of being vegetarian, being vegan, I love. You don't have to kill any animals. I understand it. But on the other side, I also do start to get the feeling that it definitely should be a strong option, because if you're going to be vegan, you really have to be super, super. It's almost like a full-time job to get the amino acids you need and all this other stuff. So, and I know I can see being that careful. And so mixing the food up, I also am curious about all, because there's so much diverse information. Like, I don't know if you've read the China study, but where he said, Colin, whatever his name is, that if we eat more than 12% of our calories from meat, that can cause cancer. That was his research from China. So it's kind of like trying to integrate all these different ideas, and there's no one solution. I think anybody who says they have one solution rather than it's a process and it's a learning process individually and as a nation and as a world, that would be a lie.
Yeah, there's definitely not a one size fits all when it comes to nutrition. We each have such unique bodies that we have to nurture them in their own unique way, and that's that is definitely a big part of what we try and educate on here. I wanted to just back up just a step, because the environment that you're always in, this kind of showmanship, this high energy environment that you're always in, that's got to be draining in itself. And I want to know how, or if that is one of the factors that kind of led you into wanting to work on your own wellness.
Well, I'm spending most of my time, even would be better if I was out on the road, and that's what I was doing, but I spend most of my time behind a desk.
Okay.
So those days of, which a lot of people do, is sitting and one phone call after the next and looking at a screen. And so, I'm only hearing, I go to a game now and then just to check in and see what's happening, see the players, see the event. But I'm right in with the working folks behind my desk.
Yeah.
And that is a battle, because one of the things I got, that one of the goals from being here, one of the intentions is to, how can I put some limits on? How can I, it's a commitment. Yes, I have 400 things on my list, but it's 8:00 or whatever time it is that this is the time I go for a walk, or this is when I'm going to see a friend, or whatever it is. And that is, for me, one of the hardest things that has been through these years is wanting to do just let me just do one more thing.
Working from home, one more thing.
Right. And, and it's a weird challenge. I'm passionate about it. I love it. And I want to, respond to every host who runs our game, every staff member in a certain time. And it is actually just being okay that will wait till tomorrow is the biggest challenge I have now. And I'm excited, because I think that has become a higher priority now that and last year, the other factor is last year I had a stroke. And so if I had to say two things about that, one is fitness. I'm sure. I can't say certainty. I say sure. Probably.
You're sure?
It saved my ass, because I was fine in 2 days. I had a little bit of stuff with words that still go on, because I heard, I did some therapy, but I was out doing normal stuff like in my life 2 days later. So I do feel that doing all that, the cardio, some of the intensity stuff I love, the low level stuff mixed with walking, all that stuff, and the weight training, all those things, and pickleball, which is another fun thing.
Yeah. All stuff you've been implementing here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Joel, I'm coming after you, just letting him know.
I'll make sure he listens to this.
But I really feel that, but I think the factor was stress, because I didn't allow myself with enough sleep, enough relaxation to be able to put it out of my mind, work for those periods of time, and do whatever it is that nurtures that. Doesn't matter whether you do something or do nothing, but not escape, but just something that is nurturing you. So that's a process.
Is that something that you've been focusing on, say, like this stay that you've been here? Is that more of that work-life balance and that stress reduction?
Yes. The biggest thing is with sleep is I've basically, after a certain time, it took me a little time because this is my third week here, but I just, except for being a crazy Knicks fan, other than that, at 8:00, 8:30, pretty much 9:00, I'm ready for bed. And I notice how much time I waste at home watching. I've got to watch this show or that show or whatever. And my neighbor is always up. I know what time it is because her light goes off at 5:30 or 6 a.m. And so I love that. I love that idea of going to sleep regularly at an earlier time and an irregular, and then it starts to be to guard it. That's my morning. Then I can do, I can do work if I want when I wake up before I go to work out, which is before it'd been my first thing. If I get earlier enough, I can get that and not have to finish all that stuff the day before, because I know first thing in the morning I'm going to get to it. And it's just a shift in a process, and there's many years of doing it the same way. So I feel great about implementing that back home.
That's excellent.
One thing we talk about often at Skyterra is that transformation doesn't end when your stay does, and it doesn't have to fade when life gets busy. That's why we created the Skyterra at Home app, a personalized wellness app designed to help you stay connected, supported, and consistent longer after you leave campus. Skyterra at Home brings our holistic approach to wellness right into your home. Inside the app, you'll find expert coaching, fitness, nutrition, mindfulness, lifestyle, habits, all designed to help you maintain momentum in a way that feels realistic and sustainable. You'll have access to tailored workouts created by the same team who supports our guests, nutritional guidance and recipes from our registered dietitian and culinary staff, and easy-to-use tools to help you set goals, track progress without pressure. And just as important as the content is the connection. Skyterra at Home allows you to engage with coaches and like-minded community, sharing wins, asking questions, and staying inspired every step of the way. Just to let you understand that a little bit, you have access to a Skyterra staff member anytime you would like through the app. It's pretty cool. Whether you're continuing your progress made at the retreat or deepening your wellness journey over time, Skyterra at Home ensures you're never doing it alone. If you're ready to bring Skyterra into your everyday life, you can find Skyterra at Home in the App Store or visit skyterrawellness.com/at-home.
I wanted to backtrack again and ask you, or at least talk about WizFit and how that was kind of a catalyst to get you here, or a catalyst at least for you to start searching for wellness in general. Tell everybody a little bit about WizFit and then that connection that you made.
I wouldn't say it got me here, but it made me. It certainly was a factor because it's like, how could I ignore my own health, like I said, if we're not doing this? So it was just added impetus, which
I got you.
I probably would have thought of anyway, but it was extra. Another reason is like, because I have to motivate everything for the business, which is a sickness in a way.
He's pointing at his head right now for those of you who
yes.
can't see him.
So it was crazy during COVID. Two of our players, Broadway and Swoop, who've been with us over 20 years, been with us, played with the Globetrotters for certain periods of time. And Eric, been with me 25 years, Swoop about 20 years. And they just would, everybody was sitting around doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And they came up with this idea that they were going to do PE WizFit live. And they did it online on social media. And we sent it out to all our fans on Facebook and said, this is happening after school every 3 days for 30 minutes. And they did 30 episodes of it. In the middle of it, it was like my brain was on fire when they did it. I said, they just created our next program. And I was so excited. And in schools, fundraising is big with PTAs and organizations like that. And there's what's big in the schools, a lot of schools have done a fun run, which is a cool program. They raise money and the kids get to do a run on the last day, and there's some other character things, and they make it fun. And I said, but we can do something. When I saw them, I said, we can do something that nobody does. Because when they were doing the workout, it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Like the kids were having so much fun. You see some of them on the screen and they're doing cardio and they're doing some of those things like that with a basketball, and you're doing the Frankenstein walk and all these different things, and and just engaging the kids in this movement and in the middle of COVID. And that's when we started. And once we had to get the software, because that's a big factor, because schools are using it as a fundraiser. So we had to. This was crazy because we had no money and we had to find a way. We were running out of money during COVID. We're getting some of that PPP that got us through, but we had to sold everything we had. We sold our house we had for the players. We got rid of our office. We were like, how do we, because we had 150 games canceled.
Wow.
That was our busiest time. So it was like no revenue coming in. So we got through because we strategized, and then we met every day for 6 months on Zoom and created this program. And it was insane. The first time we actually did it live in one of the schools, we were doing it on virtual before that, and it was fun then. But when we did it live, it was amazing. The kids walk in the gym, and it's, let's say, 300 kids in the school. There's
Yeah.
300 Wizard basketballs on cones. That's their workout station. So it gives them right away. They're excited. They're not thinking, "Oh, this is going to be hard.
Yeah.
I'm going to work out and I'm going to move and I'm going to do dance. I'm going to be doing calisthenics." They
Uh-huh.
were just pumped up, and you could see kids at all different levels. That's what I love about it. Kids of all different levels of athleticism, whether they're overweight, whether they're special needs. Every show I've gone to, every single kid is having a blast. And for me, as a kid, I did not know anything about working out.
Mm-hmm.
I played sports, but I was always fat. I know I shouldn't use the word fat, but I was fat. And I didn't realize that there was actually something you can do about it. There was no good method out there to talk about fitness and talk about workouts and talk
Mhm.
about eating. It was just all, almost felt like I was just not blessed to be fit. And when I would look at the Wizards, I felt that I had this knowledge that nobody else had as much as me because I was around them every day. I know, even the players don't know this, they're superheroes to the kids. They think
Yeah.
everything they're doing, flying through the air, movement, fast, all of that is just natural. And it just comes from God or somewhere, wherever. And by my going through that, I said to the players, you don't realize it, but by telling kids that this is, hey, I may have had some gift gods, born with athleticism, but
Mm-hmm.
to take care of your body, take care of your mind, I do it every day. And I want to, that's as a player, that the kids can hear that, not in a preachy way, but it's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh my, I didn't know. I didn't know you worked so hard to maintain yourself. And if I would have known that as a kid, so I feel this empathy for these kids and this opportunity for kids to really hear this.
And then you are seeing this and you begin to figure out how to implement more things in your life. Is that kind of the track that it went on?
Yes. So for me, the biggest thing was the fitness was the trying to think the first different times you come different times, there's different things going on, but
Yeah. Because you've been here several times.
yeah,
Yeah, over the years.
fitness, except for a few stops where I didn't do it as much. The mix of really intense cardio, and now I've implemented walking on other
Mhm.
days and other times, and the weightlifting. Just it's such a key. Like, it's probably the movement. It's probably, I mean, food is really important, but if you had to say number one, I would say the movement and everything I've read too, and how I feel. I don't know, just even going for a walk,
Mhm.
instead of 70,000 thoughts floating around, and some of them like about, oh my God, they're gone. And especially a hard workout, because you can't hold, your brain can't handle
Yeah.
that much different.
It's got one thing
information.
you can focus on.
That's right. And so I do, and there was a class that was here that really inspired me about the book. I forgot the name of the person who led it, but it was on the book Spark,
Mm-hmm.
about a school in Illinois. It became a book by Dr. Rady. He's a ADHD guru on that. And he said he found evidence that the exercise, and not only helped the kids' grades, but obesity and their grades, that it actually changes our brain,
Mm-hmm.
builds brain cells. And between that, and also that he's a psychiatrist, it's actually the same result as you get from antidepressants. So he would said to his clients, you have a choice. If you feel confident enough about doing exercise instead, we'll move you over to it. And it's just a wild thing to see that that's the same thing that happens in our brain, and that we need it.
And
We need it.
And you felt that yourself.
Yes. And that I was going to say is that fitness in the morning, even during the recent period, I wasn't doing the fitness, and that's one of the things that's great about coming this time is I got back into it. Had a car accident, and it's hard to get back. We had one of our players here, Leon Space Jam, and he was a great athlete. He cost me a lot of money, but we got a lot of publicity. He broke 9 baskets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so, but even him, who's a high athlete, has patella injury and knee injury that was really bad. And he was out for a year and a half. And coming here, the doctors cleared him to exercise, he was stable, but he just, I don't know, something shifted, the confidence, the momentum, whatever it is that happens. And he's so grateful because this got him started. Then he started doing F45. He started doing other workouts. As soon as he left, he says, I can't let a day go by. And so we have that in common in that the passion to build on the structure that we got here.
Yeah, it was a pleasure having Leon here. That was super fun. You could see his confidence build over his time here for sure. I think it's interesting that you said it had kind of wavered when he'd had such a history of being such a high-level athlete. And I think that that's a story that can hold true for a lot of people is so things happen in life and it sets us off track, but we can always get back on that track. It just needs the right people, the right surroundings. I'm happy he was able to find that here.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the other part of this place that it definitely goes not unnoticed is that the environment of kindness, even when when Ryan is leading the exercise, when I asked him when I first met him, how do you do it? You look like Adonis. You look like the kind of person you'd be afraid of if they were the drill Marine in charge of that or something. But you push us in a way that is with love. And that is amazing. And everybody wants to do their best. And he notices when, and reinforcing people that keep doing what you're doing great. And that, but the whole environment here is one of kindness and love. And that is huge.
Ryan definitely has a way of being the most empathetic trainer that will still push you that I've ever met out of somebody.
Yes, he tricks you into doing more than you thought you.
All the time.
Yeah,
yeah. It's really cool to see. Todd, I wanted to point something out, and that you would be. Maybe you've noticed this too, but usually we have a higher density of women population than guys. Do you have any wisdom or any words for any of the gentlemen that might be listening to this about, taking time for yourself like this and investing in yourself?
Well, yeah, I would say this is the most unique place I've seen. I've been to I was a spa guy.
Okay.
And sometimes I'd be the only guy there. And listen, guys, don't come because I like being the only guy here when that happens. But anyway, this is different. This is fitness. You can go light on the workout, or you could lift 250 pounds and do 3 classes a day and do everything you want to do. So I haven't seen another place for fitness mixed with wellness and health like Skyterra.
And it fits what you were looking for. I did have another unique question. I kind of ran this one by you. Hopefully you had a minute to think about it. But if you had to give your younger self one piece of advice about health, wellness that you've learned through all your hardships and your journey and all the folks that you've been able to touch and work with that is not related to basketball, what would that piece of advice to your younger self be?
Probably love yourself.
Okay.
However you get there, it's not there's no recipe for that, but that when we have that empathy and love for ourselves, that gives us back, not only for yourselves, it's how you feel and what you give to the world.
Yeah.
It expands and it's funny. because I've struggled with that. And I looked at my parents who were so loving to me, but I didn't think they were kind to each other and kind to themselves. We're very judgmental. So I think probably one of the hardest thing is that self-love, that thing where we accept everything, that we're going to have wins and losses. We're going to do things that are great and things that suck. And that being able to just say, I accept you. I love you. You're good. We got it. You're accountable. You're not shirking that today you did some great things or some bad things, but ultimately their growth and I think that would be it. It's not a thing that is just going to happen, especially in the competitive world we live in.
Mm-hmm.
We're all judgmental all the time. We have this brain that goes, makes a lot of noises.
It does.
And at all these different workshops, I work with great teachers. I did ESP with Werner Erhard. I did Arnold Siegel, who is a great philosopher teacher, and just so many other people, and reading. But it still is a daily practice, just like it is with fitness. It's like mental fitness, and being able to do that. And so it's not too late. I'm getting old, but I'm still learning.
You got still plenty of years ahead of you, man. Anything else you want to give to our listeners? Anything else you want to make a point about?
Just, if you can come here, it's Skyterra is a unique place. It is, and it's not woo-woo. It's just because you meet all kind of people from all over the place. It's
You
just
sure do.
Great, but it's just a lot of knowledge in a lot of different areas, and you can pick and choose. That's what I love too. You can pick and choose different things, nutrition or class, or you don't want to do that. You don't want to hear about emotions. You go and lift 250 pounds or 130 in my case.
There you go.
But it's just great to be here, and I forgot about nature too in your hikes.
I appreciate it.
And in this area, it's just a great feeling to be here. This area is really great. Oh, and the first time I came here, my nephew, who came visit with his family, we had dinner the other night.
Mm-hmm.
Same time, this happened 2 times in a row. We both came to the Asheville area the same weeks. And the first time I came in 23, he had rented a house in the forest.
Oh, wow.
What is it called? The forest?
Pisgah?
Pisgah.
Yeah.
And so twice, it's like universe is drawing us here.
It's a special place. It does draw people in, believe me. It happens all the time. I've seen people come here once and then buy a house here. It happens. Well, Todd, I want to just take a second and just say how much I appreciate you, for not only just for coming on here, but just always your positive energy when you are here. Us as staff, you always put a smile on all of our faces. I told somebody, I won't embarrass which staff member it was, but I was like, oh yeah, I'm doing a podcast with Todd at, X time, whatever date. And they're like, oh, I just love him. He's just always such a positive energy. And we always love getting to see your name pop up and have you here. But again, also really appreciate you coming on here on the podcast and laying some wisdom down and just speaking about your experience some.
You got me verklempt.
Doesn't require a response.
I don't let compliments in that often, but I let anyone say.
All right, buddy. Well, listeners, if you have any questions for us, you know where to reach us, inspiredintentions@skyterrawellness.com. I'm sure if you have any questions for myself or Todd, I can get a hold of them. But thank you guys for listening again, and we will catch you all next time.
The Inspired Intentions podcast is a production of Skyterra Wellness Retreat. Special thanks to our executive producer, Alan Broyhill. Send us your questions and comments to inspiredintentions@skyterrawellness.com. Subscribe on iTunes and everywhere podcasts can be found. If someone you know might benefit from this podcast, share Inspired Intentions with them and give us a 5-star rating. Join us next week as we cut through the unrealistic noise on diets and fitness and show you how healthy living fits seamlessly into your already busy life. Thanks for listening.